And literally, what I learnt to do with what goes on to do with the actual Thin Blue Line and Casper, the actual charity, it was really interesting. Yeah. And it was a fantastic actual interaction.
In that sense, I'll leave you to do what you
No
have to
problem,
do.
sir. Thank you.
We have work to carry on. We can't
do stuff.
Hello.
Hiya.
From Monza.
Yep.
Can I ask what you're doing?
Yes, I'm making a documentary.
About what?
About officers from this police station and 2 other police stations.
Can you stop recording me?
No, I have the right to record you.
You need to put the video down.
No, I do not have to put the video down.
You do?
No, I do not, madam.
Why are you filming this station anyway?
I've already told you I'm making a documentary.
About what?
About officers from this police station and 2 other police stations, okay, that committed sexual offences and only got an 18-month suspension. Okay, that is the reason why I'm here.
What are the officers?
Their names, I can't remember all 5 of their names, okay, but literally it was between here, Twickenham and Kingston upon Thames. It was those 3 police stations that came together as one, okay, and put a unit together, and that's when the offences were committed. And literally, as human beings, I just want to know whether or not any serving police officer actually has a comment to make whether or not they feel it's appropriate for a serving police officer to abuse their position of trust in what they're in.
Before a single word is exchanged, this encounter is already on edge. A man with a camera, standing in public, asking uncomfortable questions about police accountability, and officers who seem unsure where their authority ends. What starts as a calm documentary inquiry quickly spirals into demands, contradictions, and confusion over basic filming rights. This isn't just about a camera, it's about power, public space, and how police react when scrutiny is turned back on them. Watch closely, because the reactions here tell you more than the answers ever could.
So, I can't comment on it if I don't know the circumstances of the name. Can I? Like, you're filming and asking people to comment, like police officers, right?
Yep.
But you're not telling me the circumstances of the name, so how am I meant to comment if I don't
But
know?
as I already said, I can't remember all 5 of their names,
Yeah.
okay, but it was between all 3 of the police stations.
But do you not think this is like not the right way to go about it? Because you should just ask if you can speak to someone, and then someone will invite you in, and then you can have a talk about it.
Well, I've tried contacting the press office, and literally I've had nothing back.
Right. The thing is, you can't film out here or the police station.
Why can I not?
Because people think you're doing something else.
Well, no, I'm doing a perfectly lawful activity,
Yeah.
okay, I've told you exactly why I'm here.
Yeah, but do you understand why this looks...
Well, yeah, if you didn't stop me, you wouldn't be doing your job, and I understand that,
Yeah.
okay, but then what you've also then got to remember, I have the legal right to do exactly what I'm doing,
Okay.
and that is what I'm doing,
Okay, thank you.
okay, and that is exactly what I'm doing, okay. So when you actually look at it as a whole, I'm doing a completely lawful activity. I've been here for a while. I've spoken to several officers already. Okay, I've had nice interactions.
Yeah.
I've had only 1 aggressive officer.
Right.
Okay, that I will be putting a complaint in about.
Okay.
But the majority of the officers have been really pleasant and really lovely.
Yeah.
And it's like, even when I was over at Kingston upon Thames, the welcome that I got from Kingston upon Thames was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, and exactly the way that it is.
This moment sets the legal foundation for everything that follows. In the UK, filming from a public place is lawful, full stop. No permission required. No justification needed. When the officer repeatedly demands the camera be turned off without citing a specific legal power, that's where the problem starts. Notice how the auditor stays calm, repeats his purpose, and doesn't escalate. The tension here isn't created by the camera, it's created by uncertainty about the law. Question for you. Should officers be expected to know these rights as well as the public does?
Decorum, they would have got 100 out of 100, there's no doubt about it. And then even when I was over at Twickenham, I actually spoke to an inspector over at Twickenham.
Right.
And this is the thing. And then when you look at your colleague that just came over with you, telling me to stop filming, I don't have to stop filming. Okay, now you've been lovely and pleasant to talk to, and I do appreciate your time, and I do appreciate that you did stop me. Because as I said, if you didn't stop me, you wouldn't be doing your job.
Yeah.
Okay, and I understand that. And that's why I welcome any engagement with any officer, and that is what it's about, is being able to talk.
Yeah.
Because if we don't talk, that's where the divide is.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Okay, but you got to admit, the way that your colleague came over just then, okay,
I think
was
it's-
very wrong.
I think sometimes sometimes when you put a camera in someone's face, it's
No, she walked to me. No, she walked to me.
No, but obviously me coming over to you, like with you putting the camera at me now, it is quite intimidating.
No, but this is the thing. No, but this is the thing. You both knew that I had a camera, and
yeah, so
you came to me.
To see what you're doing.
Yep.
What I'm saying is now, like you've got the camera on me, which
Yep.
is fine because you're allowed to do it, but it's a little bit intimidating for me to be filmed. Do you understand that? Like,
Yeah, I
if I
know,
was
but
filming you, it's like a little bit
but then you have the right to walk away from the camera.
Yeah.
You have the right to walk away from
So
the camera.
obviously as police, you have to like ask you what you're doing, investigate, like.
Yeah, but then as a member of the public, I have the right not to say anything.
Yeah.
But I'm not like that, okay? That's why I said I welcome any form of engagement at all. Any form of engagement. Because as I said, okay, there's a lot of fantastic officers out there. There's a lot of fantastic officers out there. And it's also those officers that need to be shown to the public, okay? So the public don't lose faith in the police.
Yeah.
And this is also the big thing, okay, that I like to do, is also highlight a lot of good work that serving police officers do. It's like I was only over at Surrey headquarters literally a few weeks ago, and literally what I learned to do with what goes on to do with the actual Thin Blue Line and Casper, the actual charity, it was really interesting.
Yeah.
And it was a fantastic actual interaction that I had.
Yeah.
And that is the thing, okay? People also have to see the good work that's being done.
You can't film here is one of the most common and most incorrect statements heard in police audits. Being near a police station does not magically erase public rights. Unless a specific restriction applies, public space remains public space. What strengthens the auditor's position here is that he already attempted proper channels by contacting the press office first. That matters. This isn't ambush journalism, it's persistence after being ignored. Watch how the officer's tone softens once lawful activity is clearly articulated. Knowledge changes power dynamics fast.
So that's why I said there are some people out there that will come and try and wind people up, but I'm not like that, okay? I welcome every single interaction that there is to offer. Because that is what it's about, is literally showing people like yourself, like where you've come up to me and the way that you've spoken and the way that you've engaged, okay, has been absolutely incredible. The only thing that I haven't asked you, would you mind identifying yourself, please?
Yeah, what's your name?
I would decline on that.
Yeah, I'm just going to scan that as well then.
No, under your policy, you have 3 forms of identification, okay, and you have to identify yourself if a member of the public asks, whether or not that's your collar number, your actual warrant card, okay, and you're not in uniform either.
No.
Okay, so that's why I'm asking you just to actually fully identify yourself, even if it is only your collar number.
Yeah.
When your colleague came along, she showed me a warrant card.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just asking you to identify yourself. That's fine.
That's 2048.
No worries, thank you very much. Okay, and that's the thing. This is why I told you it's about the engagement. I told you why I was here.
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't know the actual case. You couldn't make a comment on it. But then the way that we're actually talking now, this is how it should be. Okay, and I know everybody's had an absolutely unbelievable year and a half, okay, that's been absolute hell for everybody. And this is the thing, we also need to highlight the good things that are being done. Okay, so don't think that it was just about being here and literally having things that go wrong. It's not about that. Yeah. Okay, it's also highlighting the good things as well that goes on. Okay.
Here's the twist. Suddenly, the camera is described as intimidating, but context is everything. The officer approached voluntarily. No detention, no coercion. Legally, intimidation requires more than discomfort. This is a critical distinction viewers often miss. The auditor's response is key, respectful, calm, and balanced, acknowledging good policing while still holding firm on accountability. Ask yourself, if officers feel uncomfortable being filmed, how does the public feel when power is exercised without explanation?
So you can see literally the officer that came up and gave me all the aggression literally and just decided literally to turn her back and be very, very rude. The other officer, the one that's in the actual white and black trousers, been really nice to talk to, really pleasant. The other one was very, very quite arrogant and very rude. And that's the problem. And that's why when you look at it as a whole, it's not right in the way that things are done. So, and that's why we do exactly all what we can do, okay? And why we do it, okay, is literally, it's about literally engaging with the actual public, and that isn't what's being done. And that's why we do what we do. And that's why it's literally, it's about doing what we do, okay, and making ourselves literally very, very open with what we do. She came along, I told her exactly why I was here, and she decided to get very, very funny. So, and this is why I would do exactly what I'm doing. I have every legal right to be here. And if they don't like what I'm doing here, then it's just too...
This is one of the most legally significant moments in the entire video. In most UK policing policies, officers, especially in plainclothes, are required to identify themselves upon reasonable request. The auditor doesn't demand a name, just a collar number. That's reasonable. The hesitation and walkaway here highlight a recurring accountability gap. Transparency builds trust, avoidance destroys it. Notice how calm persistence ultimately works. This isn't about ego, it's about standards. Do you think identification should ever be optional in public interactions?
So, and that is the actual problem. Been here for well over an hour, had some really nice interaction, some really arrogant interaction, and some really aggressive, putting your hand in your face aggression. And that's the thing. So when you actually look as a whole, and when you look at what's being done, okay, this is why we do what we do, and how we do it, and why we do it. And this is the thing. So when you look, okay, literally, people have to remember that I have the legal right in which to be here. I've committed no crime, okay, I've broken no law. So why she decided to actually come out and give me this outright full aggression, I do not know. And that is the actual big thing, okay? And that is why when you actually look as a whole, okay, and what's actually going on, okay, that is why we do what we do, okay, and how we do it and why we do it. So, and that's the big thing. So, and that is exactly it, okay? So why we actually do it, how we do it.
And this is what professional policing looks like. PC 4187 doesn't accuse, he asks. He doesn't demand, he clarifies. Importantly, he sets proper boundaries, explaining why officers can't comment on cases they weren't involved in. That's correct procedure. Compare this approach to earlier aggression, and the difference is night and day. Same location, same situation, completely different outcome. This proves one thing clearly: attitude and legal knowledge matter just as much as authority.
Sorry sir, who are you?
Police officer.
Yep.
PC Coutures. How can I help? What's going on?
I don't need any help, sir.
Okay, why are you filming those two ladies?
No, they approached me, sir.
Okay, what
They
did
came to me, sir. So let's verify that. They came to me, sir.
Yeah, okay, what did they say?
Okay. Well, telling me that I shouldn't be here, okay? I have every legal right to be here. I've spoken to several other officers here.
Okay.
Right? I'm here doing an actual documentary, okay?
Right.
On this police station and two other police stations where they put a unit together.
Okay.
Okay? And 5 of those officers committed sexual offences and were suspended for a total of 18 months.
Okay. Do you have any documentation to prove that you are allowed to...
Well, I'm in public, sir. I'm in public.
Okay.
I'm doing a perfectly lawful activity.
Well,
I'm in public and I'm allowed to film whatever I can see in public.
Okay.
And that is exactly what I'm doing, sir.
So you said that you're carrying out a documentary, is that right?
Yes, for myself.
Okay. For yourself?
Yes.
Okay, it was just understanding whether it was for the media or...
No, for myself, sir.
Okay, so what's your involvement in all of this? If these officers...
Well, I'm a member of the public, sir.
Alright. But what's
I'm a
your
member.
involvement in terms of the
No, I'm a
investigation?
member of the public, okay, and I've come here, okay,
Yeah.
to actually find out whether or not any serving officer, okay, as a human being, believes that it's right for somebody in that position,
Right.
okay, to commit a crime such as that,
Okay.
right, and think that it's actually acceptable just purely because they're a serving officer that they only get an 18-month suspension from work.
All
That's
right.
not right. As a human being,
don't
it's not
think-
right.
I don't think any of us can comment because we weren't there. Unless we were part of the court procedure, we have no business in giving an opinion.
Okay,
when
right. You
we
take
don't
this
have
lady here. You take this lady here. Okay, that was nearest to me.
All right.
Okay. When I was actually standing there on the corner, she came out very aggressive. Okay, literally putting her hand up, literally
Okay.
to my face. Okay,
Okay.
telling me that I cannot film. I have the
Okay.
legal right in which to film.
Okay.
I'm in public and I'm allowed to film.
The issue here is this is a sensitive location
What do you mean by sensitive location?
in the sense that there's a lot of individuals that work out of this station, and obviously we're in plain clothes as well as uniformed.
Yep, and I've had several interactions with both today.
All right.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is, unless you've got a reason to,
And I do
take
have a
video
reason,
of
sir.
us,
And I do have a
I don't
reason.
think it's fair to put our serving members of the public out there for everyone to judge where we come in and where we come out, unless you have a reasonable excuse.
I'm here to do my own story,
Right.
okay? I'm doing a legal activity, okay? And I'm filming in public exactly where I'm legally allowed to go, okay? I've committed no crime, okay? And I've broken no law, sir,
Okay. Well,
okay? That's why I've said I've spoken to at least, I would say approximately 15 officers is what I've spoken to over the course of the last hour.
right.
Okay,
So your
and I've
plan
had
is
some
just
friends-
to stand here and film
Yeah,
whoever goes in and goes out.
No, I'm speaking to as many officers. As I said to the other young lady, the one on the right there, I welcome any engagement by any officer, okay? And that's the thing, okay? The more
Okay.
officers that
That's fine
can
by
actually
me.
speak, then it's fantastic.
What's not fine? What's not fine is just you continuing to film our police station without anyone giving consent.
But I don't
That's-
need consent, sir. I don't need consent.
The phrase sensitive location sounds powerful, but legally, it's meaningless without statutory backing. Public areas don't become off limits simply because officers feel exposed. The auditor's response here is textbook. Lawful activity does not require consent. Period. This exchange perfectly captures the ongoing clash between institutional preference and individual rights. The rising tension isn't caused by filming, it's caused by resistance to scrutiny. Be honest, if you were standing there, would you have backed down or stood your ground?
I'm filming from public, and I'm allowed to film whatever I can see.
What I'm saying is,
Right, a quick
can't
question.
continuously film
Yes, I
the
can,
police
sir. Yes, I
station.
can, sir. Did you get the memo last year to do with people that actually film around police stations?
so
Okay.
this is-
No, did you get the memo last year that went out to every single police station, okay, from the actual police commission, saying about people filming around the police stations should be allowed to do their lawful activity that they're allowed to do?
I didn't get that memo,
I've been
no.
doing this for a long time.
So you just
okay?
stand outside police stations and film us?
Yes, I do, okay, and I actually ask the police, okay, I look at the good things and I look at the bad things, okay,
Right.
and that's the thing, there's a lot of good things that a lot of serving officers do that also
Right.
need to actually be shown to the public,
Okay.
and that's the thing, the public and the police at the moment are so far apart, okay, it's about trying to build that bridge, to try and bring them back together, okay, and that's the main thing. There's a lot of people out there, okay, yes, okay, that go out trying to rile the police up, okay, but then there's a lot of good people out there trying to actually show that it's not about bad interaction, it's about engaging and it's about talking, and that's the main thing. And all I'm trying to do, okay, that's why I said I welcome any interaction I have with any officer,
Yeah.
because it's a very, very important thing what we do, okay, and it's about trying to actually bring the public and the police back together, okay, and that's the thing, we need the police, okay, the police do a good job, okay, they're there to serve and protect the public, and that's what I wish for them to actually carry on and do it, but
Okay.
in a correct and lawful way.
Okay, in that sense, I'll leave you to do what you
No
have to
problem,
do.
sir. Thank
we
you.
have work to carry on. We can't
That's
stay
no
here all
problem,
day,
sir. That's
but,
fine.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That's fine, no worries, thank you very much, sir.
Be careful on the ramp.
No, that's fine, sir, that's fine. Would you mind identifying yourself, sir? 4187. No worries. Thank you very much, sir. Have a lovely evening.
Yeah, just mind the ramps.
Yep, that's fine, sir. That's not a problem.
Cars coming through there.
Not a problem.
This audit delivers 3 undeniable takeaways. First, officer knowledge of public filming rights remains inconsistent, even within the same station. Second, aggression often appears when legal authority is weak or misunderstood. And third, respectful dialogue consistently produces better outcomes than confrontation. The contrast between the aggressive officer and PC 4187 shows how training, temperament, and legal awareness shape public trust. Accountability doesn't weaken policing, it strengthens it.
Okay, so you can see there, that was a really, it finished up as a nice interaction, okay? But then what you actually have is you have that officer there walking up the ramp there, okay? This was the actual aggressive, arrogant officer that was actually up there, okay? That literally really came out, rah, 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 okay? Literally, don't put the camera in my face, okay? And this is the thing. So it's very important, as I said, that people do see the good work, okay? It's not just about the good, it's not about the bad. It's about the actual public and the police trying to come back together and actually working as one. So please, as I said, okay, it's very interesting what goes on and how it goes on. And that was one interaction that I weren't expecting to have. As I did tell you on the last one, I was literally virtually all wrapped up and I was almost ready to go.